When you're working with a list that has a detailed view, there are a large number of events that fire when the user tries to synchronize the data. So there are events that fire both client-side and server-side. So in this video, we'll take a look at some of these events. So let's go back to design mode right now, and let's open up this builder. And we'll go now first to the client-side event. So we'll go over here to detail view, and then we'll go over to events, and we'll type in here SYN. So you can see here that the events that relate to synchronization are can synchronize. So this fires when the user clicks the synchronize button, and you can return false to prevent the synchronization from happening. Then you can see after synchronize, so this fires after the user has synchronized. And then what's available to you in this event handler are a count of the number of records that were submitted, the count of the number of records that had errors, etc. So if you say insert parameter, you can see here's all the data that's available to you in the object that is passed into the event handler. So you get a full list of the records that were inserted, updated, deleted, which ones had server-side validation errors, which had write conflict errors, etc. And you can see here that in addition there are events that relate to batches. So when the data is synchronized in batches, there are also events that fire there. So these are the client-side events. So let's go now and look at the server-side events. So we can go now to server-side events here, and those will be defined at the individual table level. So we'll open up table properties. And the reason that the events aren't shown on this dialog here is that this list might be based on a SQL join that involves several tables. So there'll be table properties for each of the tables that are involved in the SQL statement. So in this case, our SQL statement is just a single table called customers, but if it was a join, there'd be an entry here for every single table that was in the SQL statement, and we could define event handlers for each table. So for each table you can define a before insert event, so this will fire before an insert statement is executed, a before update, before delete, after insert, after update, after delete, and on write conflict. So let's just go here, say to the before update event, and we'll go here and say xb before update. We'll show the function prototype, and then we'll just copy this function prototype to the clipboard here and insert it in the xbasic function declarations, and then just put in a debug1 so we can see what's going on when the event fires. So now we'll go back to run this list component, and we'll go there and we'll edit a record. So let's just make this wider so that it's all on the same line. So we'll go here and we'll edit this here from London to Manchester, save the data, and then hit the synchronize button. So when the synchronize button gets clicked, you can see that we're firing now in the XB before update event. This is the server-side event that's firing, and inside this E object here we have a pointer to the connection, so that's the pointer to the connection object that is being used. And then this is the SQL statement that we're about to execute to update the row, and then e.arguments are the arguments that are going to be passed into that SQL statement. So we can modify this SQL statement or the arguments in this event handler, and our modifications will be honored. So let's just go ahead and run that now, and then you can see that the data was actually updated. So what we've shown over here is how we can execute event handling code in many different places during the synchronization process. Thanks very much for watching.